TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israel and Hezbollah continue to exchange blows along the Lebanese-Israeli border region. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant tells visiting U.S. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, that the United States military and the IDF must be prepared at any time to fulfill their joint commitment to prevent Iran from gaining military nuclear weapons. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan stresses the need for de-escalation in the Middle East, pointing to a Gaza ceasefire as a key ingredient. Israel and Iran's Lebanese proxy Hezbollah continue to trade blows while the IDF continues to prepare for a worst-case scenario of an all-out regional conflagration. As part of the latter, IDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Agari announced the arrival of the U.S. military's chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, for a joint situational assessment with his Israeli counterpart, IDF Chief of General Staff Lieutenant General Herzi Halevi, as well as Defense Minister Yoav Gallant.
The
operational capabilities of the U.S. military in the region are very significant, and we are conducting together with them a joint situational assessment in light of the regional threats. We are in a state of very high readiness, both offensively and defensively, in all arenas. At this time, there is no change in the Home Front Command's guidelines. You are required to continue demonstrating responsibility, alertness, and vigilance as you have done so far.
During a meeting at the Israeli Defense Ministry in Tel Aviv, Defense Minister Gallant discussed with General Brown the strategic juncture that Israel currently faces as it continues to pursue the goals of this war, to include dismantling the Hamas terror organization, ensuring the return of hostages held by Hamas, and changing the security situation along Israel's northern border so that the region's communities may safely return to their homes. Moreover, discussing the threat emanating out of Iran, Minister Gallant highlighted an all-time high in aggressive activities, as well as the Ayatollah regime's ongoing pursuit of nuclear capabilities. In this regard, Minister Gallant emphasized that Israel and the United States must be prepared at any time to fulfill their joint commitment to prevent Iran from gaining military nuclear weapons. Following this meeting, General Brown joined his Israeli counterpart, General Halevi, for a tour of Northern Command.
I have just concluded a visit with the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the U.S. Armed Forces at the Northern Command. We are strengthening our operational cooperation in response to the challenges and threats in the Middle East. Israel is strong and defends itself by itself. Even so, it is always good to have a strong ally by our side that shares our values and interests.
General Halevi went on to stress the importance of the preemptive strikes that the IDF launched against the Iranian proxy Hezbollah on Sunday, while emphasizing further that Israel remains very determined to continue degrading Hezbollah's capabilities, eliminating more commanders, and denying them assets and capabilities.
We are very determined to continue degrading Hezbollah's capabilities, eliminating more commanders, and denying them assets and capabilities. We are not stopping. Hezbollah has other capabilities, and the mission is not yet complete. Our mission is clear: to return the residents of the North to their homes in safety. The IDF is operating around the clock to achieve this. We are determined to bring the residents of the North safely back to their homes as quickly as possible. The IDF is operating on all fronts with great determination and professionalism to protect the citizens of Israel.
It is worth highlighting that while cross-border hostilities continue to intensify, humanitarian aid organizations have told the United Nations that the recent uptick in hostilities has not yet had a significant humanitarian impact on the Lebanese side of the border.
Peacekeepers in UNIFIL continue to observe exchange of fire across the blue line as UNIFIL continues to carry out its mandated activities in these challenging circumstances. The Special Coordinator for Lebanon, Janine Hennis-Plasschaert, and the head of the UN peacekeeping mission in Lebanon, General Aroldo Lazzaro, continue their contacts with the parties in order to de-escalate the situation. Meanwhile, our humanitarian colleagues tell us that the recent uptick in hostilities has not had a significant humanitarian impact. However, the ongoing conflict continues to severely impact civilians on both sides of the blue line.
Earlier, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, during a visit to Canada, voiced Washington's hope that the events that transpired on Sunday would not reoccur. Moreover, Sullivan stressed that the Biden administration maintains close contacts with the Israeli government as Jerusalem and Washington aim to coordinate closely on all matters related to the Iranian-fueled threats.
All I can tell you is that we have remained in continuous contact with our Israeli counterparts at all levels. And they have shared with us how they see the situation. We've shared with them how we see it, and we tried to coordinate as closely as possible. I can't speak directly to the conversations that unfolded yesterday, other than to say there was continuous communication, and we have been tracking the threat of Hezbollah attacks against Israel for some time now. And of course, those attacks have been unfolding since October 7th, in addition to the specific operations and actions that took place.
The American National Security Advisor further stressed the Biden administration's determination to reach a ceasefire for the Gaza Strip, which they believe would consequently de-escalate the entire region.
What I believe now is that it is incumbent on all parties in the region to work towards de-escalation and stability. And so we are feverishly working in Cairo as we speak with our team and the teams of the other mediators, as well as with the Israelis, to get to a ceasefire and hostage deal along the framework that President Biden laid out, to get calm between Israel and along that border between Israel and Lebanon, and ultimately to get to a broader circumstance of regional stability. And of course, we think that a part of that is a credible path to a two-state solution for the Palestinian people as well.
Meanwhile, in Lebanon, Shiite Muslim residents of southern Lebanese towns and villages are voicing frustration with the situation, hoping on the one hand that Hezbollah would ultimately destroy Israel, while in parallel, avoid an all-out conflagration that would bring about unbearable destruction.
We're still as we are. I mean, in the same situation as before. It's the same. It's the same now. We're back to the initial rules of the game. Hopefully the situation will calm down. If the U.S. and Europe keep standing with Israel, it will be difficult. They will destroy the entire Middle East. They only care about their own interests, not the interests of other countries. People are relieved, or are relieved a bit, because they took a breather after this attack. We hope that something good will happen, to have some commercial activity, and for the situation to improve. Our only hope is that there will be a ceasefire so that we can be done with war in Gaza and here, for people to relax more. We can't deny that Israel is strong, and we can't currently face it. Like what is happening now, little by little, Israel will be eaten and Israel will disappear.
It is important to know that Lebanon's caretaker economy minister, Amin Salam, whose caretaker government is subject to Hezbollah's dominating influence, has asserted yesterday that the only way to de-escalate the situation would be for a positive outcome to emerge from the U.S.-led negotiations for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip.
The main players today that are following up on the situation are the French, the Americans, the Qataris, and a number of Arab countries such as Egypt and others. The ambassadors were contacted after what happened today, and it seems that the reliance now is on what will happen in Cairo today and tomorrow. I believe that within the next 24 hours, we will build on what happened at dawn today, and we will go in a positive direction. We hope this will be the case so the country and the people will be at ease.
While negotiations in Cairo are ongoing, prospects for a genuine breakthrough are seemingly unlikely since Hamas continues to reject any tangible arrangement. Therefore, the IDF is seemingly preparing to intensify its military pressure on the internationally designated terror organization.
In the south, IDF troops continue to operate in the Gaza Strip, continuing to apply heavy military pressure on Hamas. Hamas hoped that Hezbollah's attack would lead to a broad escalation. The hope of Sinwar and the Hamas leadership to drag the entire Middle East into escalation did not materialize today, and we will continue to apply heavy pressure on Hamas, eliminate its senior leaders, reach them and damage its terrorist infrastructure throughout the Gaza Strip.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. It is important for us to highlight that TV7 Israel is a 100% donation-based non-profit ministry with all of our productions available free of charge. Therefore, if you're blessed by our productions and would like to help support our daily programs such as TV7 Israel News, Jerusalem Studio, Deep Dive, and much more, we would deeply appreciate it if you'd consider making a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, as ever, I'd like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Hassan wishing you an Erev Mevorach. God willing, we'll see you during our upcoming TV7 Israel updates. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.